Hey everyone, this is Jace bringing you another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video, and this time I'm going to be showing you my guide for the Yuffie Ruin EX2 fight. I think this fight is really cool. It's going to be another DPS check, and there are going to be a couple of slight differences between this fight and the EX version, but I think the costume they gave Yuffie was fantastic. I really wish there had been a banner, but you know, that's fine. It's all good. I'll take what I can get. I decided to use my main, or one of my main teams at least, for this fight, given that the recommended combat power is 200,000. So I've brought Matt, Tifa, and Zack. I'll go ahead and show you how I set up each character. So for Matt, he's running his killer attire. He's running an OB5 Killer Hornet in the main hand. He's running an OB1 Slick Beetle in the offhand to handle Yuffie's physical attack buffs. I'm running Hellfire at level 5 on him. For his materia, I have an X materia here as a stat stick and also for sigil breaking, because for this version of the fight, I decided to respect the sigil breaking. I'll explain that once we get into the actual fight. I have a 4-star Fire Blow, which is going to be the main way that Matt is going to be dealing damage. And then I have a Circle Ruin, again for stats, but also respecting the sigils. For sub-weapons, I have a 3-star Mad Minute here, I have a 2-star Bald Eagle, and I have a Lefko Kipseli overboosted 10 from, it's a free weapon from a critical threat event. You can see Matt's stats there, but here are his R abilities just in case you're interested. Alright, moving on over to Zack, to Tifa. We have Tifa in her Amaranth costume, so HP, boost physical ability potency. She's going to be our healer, so we have the Lifeguard Wraps in her main hand. And in her offhand we have Tiger Fangs. That's going to help with reducing Yuffie's magic attack, which is actually important in this fight because she's going to be buffing her magical attack. We have, for her limit break, a level 8 Somersault. We have a 3-star Fire Blow for some DPS. We have a 2-star D-Brave because I don't feel like bringing that to a higher level. And we have a 4-star Cura, which for Tifa's Lifeguard Wraps in this specific materia slot is going to be boosted. For sub-weapons, we have Glenn's Hardcore Squad, just for the extra healing, and it has some good stats on it because of the Overboost 6. We have the Chocobo Staff, free event weapon, and we have the Hell House Collar, free event weapon. You can see Tifa's stats there, but here are her R abilities in case you are interested. And last but not least, we have Zack. Zack is in his Black Hound outfit, main-handing the Black Whiskers weapon at OB1. And then his offhand, we actually have the Defender weapon. That's going to be useful for boosting an ally's physical defense, which helps quite a bit for the single target Bloodbath ability that Yuffie uses in this version, just like she did in the EX version. For the limit break, we have just Zack's standard slash combo, his single target limit break. We have a 4-star Fire Blow as Zack's main way of dealing damage. We have a 4-star Defaith, which I didn't mean to make 4 stars, it just kind of happened. I don't think it's necessary. And then we have a triangle Ruin Rub for him. For Matt, his circle is going to break extra sigils, and for Zack, his triangle is going to break extra sigils because of the main weapons that they're using. For sub-weapons, for Zack, we have Tifa's Motor Drive at OB1, we have the Buster Sword at OB4, and we have the Shinra Blade, one of Sephiroth's weapons, at OB3 just for some extra attack and boost ability potency. You can see Zack's stats there, but here are his R abilities as well, if you are interested. Alright, so this is the team that we're running. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, in this version of the fight, Yuffie is going to open with a stream phase, but at the end of the stream phase, if you don't break her in time, she will use Landscaper. I think this stream phase is a little bit easier than the non-ruin version of the fight because you have 2 different sigils. That means that if you throw one and it doesn't break either of them, you know what the other 2 sigils are. So I haven't seen these ever be a diamond sigil, so I'm assuming they're just circle, cross, and triangle, so you can use process of elimination to get through this pretty quickly. She's going to buff her physical attack during the stream phase, just like in the previous version of the fight, so that's why I have the D-Brave on Tifa and the Slick Beetle weapon on Matt. After the stream phase, she's going to open up with some magic attacks, specifically non-elemental ninjutsu. I decided to interrupt the first one with Somersault, but non-elemental ninjutsu really doesn't deal that much damage. But after she's done 3 of them, she's going to use Banishment, which does deal a respectable amount of damage. You can either handle that by swapping to defensive stance or just be ready to heal up whoever gets targeted afterward. This was only the second time I had run the fight, so I wasn't exactly ready for Banishment. So I had to heal up the person who got hit. You have a little bit of foresight, so you can definitely switch to defensive stance. She's going to follow it up with some more non-elemental ninjutsu. Another banishment. Same deal, just be ready to defend the banishment or be ready to heal up right afterward. Other than that, we're just jumping from character to character, trying to use Fire Blow, trying to lower her physical defense with Zack, and then after a little bit she's going to go into Landscaper. I decided to handle this by throwing a Deep Brave with Tifa and then using Matt's X shot to bring Yuffie's physical attack debuff all the way to high tier. Even with this high tier debuff, she's going to hit us for about 3,000. So you definitely need to respect that attack. Right afterwards, she's going to use Feeling Great, which is this time going to buff her magic attack instead of her physical attack, the way that it did in the non-ruined version of the fight. All my limit breaks were up, so I decided to use them, but you need to be ready to lower her magical attack almost immediately after she buffs it, because right after we get out of these limit breaks, she's going to start using some single target magic attacks that hit decently hard. So I think you have just enough time to swap to defensive stance and back to attack in between each one if you're just spamming the button pretty much. You might not have to exactly spam the button, but they're pretty quick. In my run, she targeted 3 different people, but I'm not sure if she can target the same person over and over, so just keep an eye out for that. And then right after she's done all 3 elements that she decides to do, she's going to follow it up with banishment. So after those 3, you're not out of the woods just yet. Be ready to switch right back to defensive stance. Make sure you're able to heal up sometime in the middle of it. And then after she's done that, she's going to go into a single target bloodbath. So I decided to bring Zack's defender weapon so that he could buff somebody's physical defense. And then my plan was to use Deep Brave followed by X shot from Matt, but I wasn't able to tap the Deep Brave before I swapped to Matt. I was getting a little nervous that I wouldn't have time to use Matt's physical attack down debuff. I'm glad I got his debuff down instead of the Deep Brave, because, you know, the Bloodbath still deals a decent amount of damage. Right after the Bloodbath, though, you don't really need to heal again, at least I didn't need to. She's not going to attack again until she does her last one-shot attack. So Your Materia's Mind is similar to I Spot Treasure from the previous version of the fight. She's going to buff her physical attack, but this time she's also going to buff her magical attack. Now there's no need to panic just yet. She's going to go into a stream phase right after she buffs her physical and magical attack, and it's another one of those stream phases that has 2 sigils. So again, if you throw one of your sigils and it doesn't break any extra ones, then you know what the other 2 sigils are, so you can absolutely respect the stream phase. You can end it in a reasonable amount of time, and then what you want to do after that is you just want to focus on dealing as much damage as possible for the rest of the fight. So in my case, as soon as I end her stream phase, I'm going to use Tifa's somersault immediately, because then I can start building up another somersault on Tifa. I do end up getting the other 2 limit breaks on Zack and Matt relatively quickly, and I try to cancel one of Yuffie's upcoming abilities using Zack's limit break. I'm not successful, just like I wasn't in my regular EX video, but it's okay. It's kind of a tight window, and I'm not sure if you can cancel it. If anybody has had luck canceling this ability with a limit break, let me know in the comments. I just want to know, is it a skill issue or is it not doable? I just want to know. It's okay. If it's a skill issue, everybody can get better. I can get better. It's fine. But I just really need to know. Anyway, Greater Landscaper. I didn't get hit by this. I don't want to get hit by this. I just assumed it was going to do the same thing that Greater Bloodbath did in the previous version of the fight, except this time, it's going to kill your whole party. I assume that's the case. Might not be, might be, not sure. I decided to wait to use Hellfire until Tifa's Somersault was back up, just to add the damage modifier to it. And then from here on out, we're just going to be using as many Fire Blows as we can, making sure that she's still debuffed, and we're just going to try and kill her before she kills us. And really, at the risk of sounding anticlimactic, that's the end of the fight. She's going to go down. I really think this was an interesting version of the fight. I liked that she was using both types of attacks. I hope that we get more fights that do that and force us to use more of our roster, especially those of us who have been playing for a while and have a lot of utility weapons. But anyway, I hope that you found the video helpful. If you did, let me know in the comments below. If there was something else I could have done to make the video even more helpful, let me know in the comments below as well. I really enjoy making these videos and helping other people clear content, so I plan to keep doing so. If you found it helpful, also subscribe. I'm going to continue making more, like I just said. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.